I'm glad to talk about biodynamic agriculture. First of all, we need to establish that biodynamic agriculture, it is based on an organic agriculture. So it also doesn't use any chemical products. But here you go one step further, following three main concepts. The first one is to consider the farm as a living organism, or your vineyard as an autonomous living individual. This means that you take your vineyard as a closed system, avoiding as much as you can any external inputs. So when you work in those conditions, you want to have as many elements inside your vineyard as you can, where you have like native plants, insects, like some native animals that will be beneficial to our vineyard. We also introduce other actors, like animals, farming animals, that they will develop themselves in the vineyards, and they have in their life cycle something that can be useful for our purpose. For instance, you have sheep that they naturally they eat grass, so they are very useful for us to control the weeds. We have other animals like gooses or chickens that they eat bugs, and sometimes if you have like an insect that could be detrimental to your vineyard, they get rid of it. So this is very useful. And well, the donkey, he's great with tourists. The second big concept is to vivify the soil. That refers to give life to the soil. It's not only to see the soil as an inert substrate where you will add as many nitrogen units to have as many kilos to harvest, but here what you want is to give life to the soil, to have a healthy soil full of organic matter, microbiological activity that later on will make to have all the nutrients available for the plant. So we do that by adding the compost that we already talked about, it that is very rich in organic matter. But also there are 8 biodynamic preparation that they are already established. I don't want to enter so much into details. Each one of them, they are made from medicinal herbs. The third main concept is the relationship with the cosmos. And I know that this part like sounds a little bit odd, and people say like this is like horoscope, but if you think about it, it's very logic. Like think about our main star, the sun. You know that the plants, the whole life cycle of the plant is ruled by the sun. The 4 seasons comes from the sun. The energy of the plants comes from the photosynthesis from the sun. So the influence from the sun is brutal, is enormous. And you also have the moon, our satellite, that you know that it has in our life a big influence. You can see it clearly with the tides, how the level of the sea rises or go down according to the attraction of the moon. And you know that plants are more than 90% water. So they also have this effect on the plant. You have this effect. You have the sap of the plant that goes up or down, and all this can be used to work with it. You know, like the thing is like in biodynamic agriculture, you take into account this influence of the moon, and this is all summarized in this calendar, where you can have which days are more is more useful to do some works in the roots, or to work with the leaf, or to harvest. And this is the whole concept. For instance, if you have a very vigorous plant and you want to remove the excess of vigor, of energy that the plant has, you can do a spring pruning while the sap is up in the upper part, and you will remove the excess of energy. And for me, you know, the whole concept of biodynamic, of being in a closed system where you embrace your own conditions, you don't try to affect them, is this intensify the concept of terroir. You really work with those conditions. So I truly believe that our wines, you can really feel the expression of the terroir and the character of Lolol and our own identity. That's something that is very valuable.